So yeah, start with one foot, go nice and gentle at first. Slowly start increasing pressure onto the ball through your foot. See how the foot feels this morning. Go along the inner edge and the outer edge, underneath the toes, across the ball of your foot. Put the heel down, keep the ball under the midfoot, and go side to side like this. So there are three arches in our foot, the inner arch, the outer arch, and the transverse arch that goes across the foot. So see if you can sort of map it out with the ball. Can you feel that transverse arch? So the foot goes side to side and also tilts to one side and the other side. The inner edge goes down to the floor and then the outer edge goes to the floor. Take a note of your supporting leg. So make sure you're standing nice and tall and you're not collapsing into that hip. And roll out the foot again. And now let's put the heel down on the floor. The toes will be on your ball. Can you grip the ball with the toes like you're wanting to squeeze it? Just like you would do with your hand, squeezing the ball with the toes. Notice which toes want to participate and which toes are not sure what you're asking them to do. Squeezing. Nice. So the ball will stay under the first three toes or so. The heel is down on the ground. Press the toes into the ball and see if you can release the mount of the big toe down as close to the floor as possible. Squeeze the toes into the ball and then see if you can lift the heel up. Just a touch. Keep squeezing the toes into the ball. And the big toe mount is reaching for the floor as the toes are pressing down. And then move over to the other toes. Squeeze the ball down and then lift the heel up. Go nice and gentle. Keep squeezing the toes over the ball. And now roll it out. Okay, still on your standing leg, extend the one that you were stretching behind you. Curl the toes under, nice and gentle. You can keep the knee bent if this is too much for the toes, or try straightening the knee. You can use a pillow under the toes. Go side to side. Notice if your hips are shifting forward, so try to keep them back. So the weight of your body is sitting over that supporting leg, over the heel of the supporting leg. Nice. And then reverse, press the toes into the floor and send your knee forward a little bit. Beautiful. Let's do the other side. So start rolling the foot out. See how this foot is doing? Does it feel different from your original foot? Inner edge. And then the outer edge. And now the heel goes down on the floor. The ball is under your midfoot. And you go side to side, mapping out the transverse arch in your foot. And also tilting the ankle gently. So the outer edge goes towards the floor, and then the inner edge goes towards the floor. And I'm trying to keep the rest of my legs still. So the upper leg bone kind of stays quiet. It's the ankle and the knee, mostly the ankle. And then roll it out again. Okay, now the toes will go onto the ball, heel on the ground, and you're gonna squeeze the ball like you want to pick it up. Squeeze, trying to grip the ball with the toes. Gripping with the first three and maybe moving over to the other ones and then gripping with those. Beautiful. Come back to your big toe and the second toe. Squeeze the toes into the ball and try to release the ball of the foot towards the floor. So the mount of the big toe goes towards the floor. You press the toes into the ball and then you try lifting the heel, stretching the toes. But it's an active stretch, so we're squeezing the ball down while stretching, creating more space in that joint. And again, if this feels, painful, just reduce your effort till you can tolerate it. You can breathe and it feels manageable. So over to the other toes, gently press the toes down into the ball and lift the heel up. The ball of the foot stays on the ground. Is that Lola? Hi, Lola. Roll your feet out. So much fun. Hi. Okay, rolling out again. Nice. So standing on your supporting leg, extend the one that you just rolled out behind you. Curl the toes under. See if you want to keep the knee bent or if you want to extend the knee. The supporting leg is vertical. Maybe shift it back and forth and feel the difference. Make sure the weight is sitting right over that heel as you're stretching the toes on your other foot. Then reverse. Press the toes into the floor, bend the knee. Beautiful. Nice. Great. And now we're going to shake a little bit. See how your feet are doing now. Gentle bounce. Your arms, your shoulders, your hips, your knees, your ankles. Shaking, shaking, shaking. See what body parts are ready to shake and soft and wobbly, and what body parts are holding on to being still. Maybe you can invite them to become a little bit softer, a little bit more vigorously. Notice how your breathing changes. Take it, take it, take it. And then slow it down. Standing on 2 feet, close your eyes. Take a moment here to notice how your breathing settles down. How your ribcage is expanding side to side, back to front, top to bottom. How you're connecting through your feet into the floor. You feel your big toe on the floor, your pinky on the floor, and your heel on the floor. And then you feel the support that's coming from the soles of your feet into your ankle, into the knees, into your hips. And then your arms are hanging by your sides with the palms on the sides of your thighs, your shoulders, your neck, and your head. Right on top of the shoulders. Nice. And open your eyes. We're ready to go down to the floor. So the band will go underneath your back, and then you make your way onto the floor. We'll squeeze the ball between our knees. And we'll bring the feet up the wall. Take your time. Make sure the neck is comfortable. And the band will be under our back, across our lower back. The elbows will stay on the floor, and we will create enough tension through the band so that you feel where it's touching your lower back, right? And you pull on it, but your elbows are on the floor, so you don't have to strain your arms here. I hope you can see. So it's right there, and I created enough tension that my lower back really feels that sort of pushing up through the band. And I will begin by pressing. I'll hold it with my one hand so you can see my lower back. So I tilt my pelvis back and I press into the resistance band. And then I allow my pelvis to rock forward, and I feel how the arch in my lower back increases. And then I push into the band. So it's right there, and I feel that resistance. I'm pressing against that resistance. So we work on building our body awareness still around the lower back and our pelvis. And you're holding onto with two hands. I'm just holding onto the band with one hand so you can see the arch increase here. And then I exhale, I tilt my pelvis back, and I press into the resistance band through my lower back. And I'm squeezing the cortice ball between my knees to keep all my legs active. Inhale, tilt the pelvis forward, feel how the arch increases. I sort of give into the resistance of the band across my lower back. Wendy, you can have your elbows on the ground if you want. So you're, yeah, like this. But make sure you create enough resistance. So hold the band low enough, right? So that when your elbows are on the ground, you still have enough tension, right, through the band to feel it sort of pushing up against your lower back. Yeah. So keep articulating the lower back. Try to take a whole inhale to tilt the pelvis forward, give into the resistance of the band, and then take a whole exhale to tilt your pelvis back and press into the resistance of the band. Mm-hmm. So Gordon, it feels like your elbows are not on the floor. Yeah. So if you don't feel enough tension from the band, just hold it closer to the floor and then pull on it, right? And then the length of your forearm will be enough to create that tension in the band. Couple more times. So whole inhale to tilt the pelvis forward. Whole exhale to tilt it back and press into that resistance. And this should feel pretty good, especially when you're pressing into the resistance. One more time. Inhale, press, and then exhale, push. Beautiful. Okay. Now let's put the feet on the ground and scooch away from the wall just a couple of inches, not much at all. And we're going to move the band higher so it's underneath our mid-back, just below the shoulder blades. Okay? Your head is supported by the blanket. This time we're going to pull on the ends of the band. So arms straight up towards the sky. Feel the resistance from the band and try to press into it. Notice if your lower back has flattened into the floor. Try to keep that neutral arch through the lower back, right? We're only pressing through the mid-back. Nice. Let's place the feet on the wall again. pressing into that band. See if you can give into the resistance of the band by arching your mid-back a little bit, and that's how you open your lid, right, on that kinder egg, and then push into the band, closing the lid. And then give into the resistance. Notice how it feels through the back. And as you exhale, push into the resistance of the band, closing your lid. So stay there now. Keep breathing. We'll keep the lid closed. We're pressing to the resistance of the band. And we'll move our feet off the wall. So we create 90 degrees angle between the torso and your thighs, while still pressing into the resistance band where you feel it across your mid-back. Beautiful. So keep pulling on the strap. Take your knees 2 inches over to the right. Come back to center. Keep pressing out into the band. Knees 2 inches over to the right. And to the left, the opposite side. Come back to center. 2 inches over to the right. Back to center. And to the left. Pressing into the band to center. One more time each side. Over to the right. Back to center. And over to the left. Back to center. And then slowly bring your feet to the ground. Release your strap. Take the ball out. Put it off to the side. So widen your feet so they're on the edges of your mat. And then gently and slowly take your knees over to the right. Move your head over to the left shoulder. Just a gentle twist here. Relaxing around the midsection. Bring the knees up. And then over to the other side, looking towards the opposite shoulder. Come back to center. Find your band again. Place your feet on the floor, on the wall, and then pull on your band. Press into the resistance of the band. Make sure you feel that resistance and you're pushing against it. So we have a slightly sort of larger angle here between the torso and the knees at 90 degrees, right? And we're really working to press the mid-back into that band. And we'll hinge our right hip without changing the shape of our lower back, making sure that we're pressing into the band. So hinge the right hip, flex it, and then place it on the wall, and then your left hip. Like taking tiny little steps. Try not to move anything in the back. So we're pressing into the band, the lower back stays in neutral, so we feel that arch. We're only moving at the hip, hinging. Beautiful. Okay, so keep doing this, but now only tap your toes on the wall. Nice and gentle. So as soon as one foot leaves the wall, the other one moves in. Tap. Pressing to the resistance of the band. Straighten your elbows if you can. Okay, 5 more seconds. 4, 3, press into the band. 2, and 1. Beautiful. Feet down, relax the arms by your sides. Beautiful. Let's take the knees over to the right. Look towards your left shoulder. Come back to center. Over to the left. Knees over to the left, looking towards the right shoulder. Beautiful. Come back to center. So now we're gonna move further away from the wall so you can straighten your legs. Hopefully you can do that. We'll take the band off to the side. And we'll bend, we'll flex our right hip and we'll press the hand into the thigh. Resist the thigh back into your hand. Hopefully now you feel, you know, the mid-back way better. So pretend the band is still over your mid-back and you're pressing down through the mid-back. Bring your left arm up and over, but only to where you can still press into that imaginary band across your mid-back. Keep resisting into your thigh. Now see if you can slowly roll onto your right side. Keep that resistance going between your hand and your thigh, and then come back onto your back. One more time. Over onto the side. And come back to center. Last one. Keep pressing the hand into the thigh. Over to the right. And back to center. And then slowly release. Bend your knees. Interlock your fingers under the base of your head, the base of your skull. Bring your elbows together and then pull your head in. Now press your head into your hands, but resist the hands back. And slowly, slowly release the head down. And then open the elbows out to the sides. Inhale. As you exhale, bring the elbows together. Pick up your head. Pull it in gently. Now slowly pressing the back of your head into your hands. Resisting the hands back. Slowly allow the head to wing and release down onto the floor. Beautiful. And we'll do this, it's called a hard roll on the other side. So straighten your right leg, flex your left hip, press your left hand into the left thigh. Pretend that band is still across your mid-back, so you're pressing into it. The right arm goes up and over, but not all the way above your head. Make sure you can still keep your lid on, right? Pressing into that imaginary band. Create resistance between your hand and your thigh. Flex your left foot. Let's roll onto the left side. Nice and slow with control. Come back to center. Resistance to the thigh. Over to the left side. Back to center. One last time. Over to the side. And back to center. Bend your knees. Now without interlocking your fingers under the back of your head, tuck your chin in and have the blanket still there. I just moved mine because I don't need it there, but most of us, we do need a little bit of a blanket under the head. So tuck your chin in. Now see if you can lift your head 2 inches off the floor. And then slowly, slowly release it down. Keep your chin tucked in. Make sure that the tops of the shoulders are not crawling up to your ears. Have them nice and low. Inhale, tuck the chin in. As you exhale, lift your head up. Keep tucking the chin in. And slowly down, chin in. One more time. Inhale. The ribs are down. As you exhale, lift the head up. And slowly down. Beautiful. Arms by your sides. Gently move your head side to side. Nice. Roll onto one side so you can see the screen. Find your gorgeous ball or your blanket. So the blanket will have to be rolled up into sort of like a square shape, but make sure it's not too high. So we want it to be about the height of our gorgeous ball, maybe a little bit less because it doesn't have much give. The gorgeous ball will go just under the side of the rib cage like this. Closer to your armpit, and the knees will be bent. If you need a blanket under your head, you can do that. And we'll take a few breaths here, and we'll we'll try to really inflate the side of the rib cage, expand where you feel the ball. You can have your fingertips in front of you, sort of supporting yourself on the side, breathing through the nose. Expand the rib cage right into where you feel, into the ball. Maybe even visualize the spaces between your ribs expanding. On the inhale, and gently coming back to their original shape as you exhale. A couple more times. Beautiful. And then press yourself up, and let's switch sides. Legs forward, over to the other hip. Take your blanket if you need it. And then it goes closer to your armpits, right underneath the rib cage. You can use your hand sort of as a pillow, your upper arm. And we'll take a few breaths here. See if your lid has popped open. Think of having the band across your mid-back and still pressing out into that resistance band, right? So the lid stays closed to the front. You can even close your eyes and just notice the sensations of expanding into the ball. And then softening, letting go on the exhale. In and out through the nose. Beautiful. And then slowly bring yourself up, push up, and we'll find our way onto our hands and knees. We'll take a few moments on our hands and knees here. See what your body wants you to do. Maybe you want to go around in a circle. Actively pressing your hands and your fingertips and your palms into the floor. Maybe you want to round and arch your back a few times. See what it feels like when you're moving your spine here. Remember to push the floor away. Come back to center and walk your hands over to the left. So we're still on the tabletop, but we're lengthening through the right side and sort of shrinking through the left. And do a few articulations here. So you're round and arching. Moving the entire spine. Nice and slow and a big gentle wave. Pushing the floor away. Then go over to the other side. Now lengthening through the left, shrinking through the right. Arching and rounding here. Push the floor away, back to the and now come back to center. Make your way down onto your elbows. Flip your hands over so the palms are facing up. And we'll move the elbows forward 2 inches. If you can tuck your toes under. Have your hands, your forearms glued to the floor. Think of pressing up into the resistance band across your mid-back. Keep that resistance going as you pull your hips back. Release the head down. The backs of your hands are glued to the floor. And then slowly bring yourself up. Press yourself up onto your hands. Push into the left hand and flip your right hand over, pressing the back of your hand into the floor. And then see if you can gather your fingers into a fist, elbows straight, and then open. Push the floor actively through your left hand while you're stretching the back of your right hand. Try to keep the elbows straight. Nice. And then slowly flip the right hand over. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Find your support through the right hand into your right shoulder. Flip your left hand over. If this is a lot of pressure for your wrist, so you send the hips back a little bit so it's not quite as much weight, not quite as much load. Gather the fingers into a fist and open. Notice how the pointer doesn't want to really gather into the fist. So try to focus on getting the pointer come into that fist as well. Yeah. Pushing the floor actively through the left hand. Very nice. And then flip over. So send your hips back a little bit so your hands are in front of your shoulders. And then see if you can tap your hands on the floor like this, keeping the balls of your hands rooted, anchored to the floor. So Donna, can you send your hips back a little bit so your hands are slightly in front of your shoulders like this? Yeah. Keep tapping. Try to keep your fingers nice and straight. And it's okay if this is not much movement for you. It's still a lot of effort. Lift and then put down. Lift. Spread the fingers, relax the jaw, down. Pull. Yeah, one more time. Pull. Down, beautiful. Now flip your hands over. Press the backs, both hands into the floor. Spread the fingers wide. Gather them into a fist. Look at the pointer. The pointer doesn't want to go into the fist. Pull it in and then open. Straighten the elbows if you can. Gather them into fists. Breathe and then open. Beautiful. Slowly flip them over. Find your resistance band. And we'll position it across the lower back. We'll pull on it and then we'll find our tabletop here. The band is right across your lower back. And you're holding onto the band and you're pinning it down through the hands. Okay. So now see if you can only move the part of your spine where you feel the bend, your lower back. So you're pushing up into that resistance and then you're giving in. Push the floor away through your hands. Round your lower back into the bend, feel that resistance, and then give in. The rest of the spine stays still, right? Just that part where you feel the bend. Round, and then give in. Beautiful. And then sit back over your heels, and we'll move the bend up so it's across our mid-back, just below the shoulder blades. Okay, so pull it again, make your way onto your hands and knees. So now try to move the part of your spine where you feel the bend. And it's our mid-back. Try not to move your lower back, and this is even trickier. Push up into the bend, and then give in into the resistance. Push up into the bend, even a tiny little bit. And then give into the resistance. One more time, push up. Give in, beautiful. So now push up into the resistance. Keep pushing up into the resistance and see if you can allow the shoulder blades to come together. Push through the hands and widen the space between the shoulder blades. Again, inhale as you allow the shoulder blades to move in towards the spine. Exhale, Spread the shoulder blades nice and wide. One more time. Inhale, shoulder blades come together. Exhale, push. Beautiful. Slowly sit back. Take the band off. Make your way down onto your forearms. We'll give our wrists a bit of a break. So think of having that band still across your mid-back. Press up against that band. And now shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Pull them down your ribcage. Push to widen between the shoulder blades. So same move that we just did with the band, but now we're on our forearms. And we're sort of imagining having the band across our mid-back. So that we keep our lid on. We'll keep pressing out through the mid-back. And we're moving the shoulder blades, allowing them to slide and glide on our rib cage. Beautiful. Push wide between the shoulder blades. Separate your hands, flip them over. We'll do that shoulder stretch one more time. Palms are facing up. Move your elbows 2 inches forward. And your forearms are parallel to each other. The hands are not coming together. Tuck your toes under if you can. Press up into that imaginary band. And then pull your hips back. Release your head down. 2 breaths here. Pressing up into that band. And slowly bring yourself up. Push yourself up onto your hands. And then come down onto the forearms. We'll do it a couple more times. Push up onto your hands. Nice and slow with control. And down. Beautiful. Last time. Push up. And down. Lovely. Then make your way onto your side so you can see the screen. Have your blanket under the side of your head. Have your gorgeous, not the gorgeous ball, but the small ball. And we'll do some hip circles. Make sure you're comfortable over your blanket, so the neck is sort of in line with your spine. And the ball will go inside your knee. So let's use that body awareness that we just built with the belt, with the resistance band. Pretend you're still pressing out through the mid-back into the band. And we'll send the head back without losing that neutral shape through our spine. Now the knee goes up, the heel goes down. Pull the knee through, in towards your shoulder, towards your chest. And then start again. Pull back. Knee up, heel down. Beautiful. Pressing out through that imaginary band across your mid-back. Reach back. Knee up, heel down. And one last circle. Reach back. Knee up, heel down. Up and over. Beautiful. Take the ball out. Tap the hip. So push yourself up and move the blanket to underneath your rib cage where the gorgeous ball was. Then settle down over that blanket. Reach your top leg forward. Still hold on to your ball and reach your upper arm over your head, sort of lining it up with your ear. And then maybe you can move that arm slightly behind you, but try to keep the shoulder blade tucked down and under, sort of into your back pocket. And then we'll switch. That leg will move back behind us. So straighten the knee and the arm with the ball will reach forward on a diagonal. Breathing into the blanket under the side of your rib cage. Nice. And then pull it all back in. Push yourself up, move the blanket back so it's under your head. And we'll reach the arm up, holding onto the ball. Let's do some rotations here. Squeeze the ball, rotate in and out a few times. Press into the imaginary band across your mid-back. Rotating here. Think of pulling the shoulder blade down and under. So maybe even feel with your fingertips. Can you activate the side body here? Now reach the arm down. Rotate the arm in so the ball is facing back behind you. Pressing into that band across your mid-back, right? The imaginary band. Reach the arm back. Then rotate, nice and gentle. Keep squeezing the ball up and over. Keep breathing. The rib cage expands side to side, back to front, and top to bottom. Nice and slow, still pulling the shoulder blade down the side body. We're not letting it move here. Beautiful. Last time. Reach back. Rotate, opening the armpit towards the sky. Up and over. Very nice. Put the ball down. Move the blanket. Maybe let's unfold it if it was sort of high. So the head has to release down towards the floor, and you'll notice a stretch to the side of your neck. Hold onto the ball, and we'll reach the ball towards the top heel. And we'll lift the head up so the neck lines up with the spine. Then slowly release it down. And just see if the blanket is way too far. Maybe you can fold it one more time, or if it's too high, you can move it. And then work on this full range of motion. Nice and slow. This can be a very intense stretch. So as you lower the head down, keep pulling the ball towards the heel of the top leg to find that active stretch. The chin is slightly tucked in, and moving the head back up, lining it up with the spine. And exhale, slowly down. Beautiful. And then release the ball down. So if you were using the blanket instead of the gorgeous ball, you'll move the blanket to underneath your left shoulder, the arm that you were just working, like this. And you rest the front of your shoulder on the blanket. If you have the gorgeous ball, you'll move the ball under that shoulder, like this. Yeah. And your ball, you'll be holding it in your left hand. You can rest your forehead either on your fist or on your blanket. So squeeze the ball, and we'll just move the arm up towards our head and then out to the side and back and down. So the front of your shoulder is supported by the gorgeous ball, and you're moving your arm out to the side and towards the side of your body. See if you can add the rotation. So you reach the arm out to the side, you rotate it in, so the ball is facing up. Then you move it towards the side body. Then maybe you can fold your elbow and then reach it out again, out to the side and to the front. Yeah, out to the side, rotate, fold the elbow. Try not to touch your lower back with the back of your hand, and out and back to the front. And one more time. Out to the side, rotate, fold the elbow, move it back, bring it out to the side and onto the floor. Move the gorgeous ball under your chest like this, and just rest your head on your hands and take a moment here. Couple breaths. Nice. And then slowly press yourself up, and we'll move over onto the other side. We'll start with the hip circles. Have your tuna ball with you. Hold your blanket so your neck is comfortable. Squeeze the ball inside the top knee. Find that phantom band across your mid-back. Press out into the band. And we'll reach the thigh back. Knee up, heel down. Pull through. Nice big circle. Flex the foot so the leg is engaged. Reach back. Knee up, heel down. Pressing out into that bend. One more time. Reach back. Lid is on. Pressing out into the bend. Beautiful. One more. Reach back. Up and over. Beautiful. Okay. Take the ball and tap the hip. Now press yourself up. Move the blanket to underneath your rib cage. Down. Now your top leg moves forward. Flex the foot like you're standing on a wall. And the arm reaches up and over. Start with your upper arm just aligning with the ear. And then see if you can slowly rotate your rib cage out towards the sky just a little bit to reach the arm behind your head. Enough to feel a diagonal stretch. Squeezing the ball. But keep your core contained, still pressing out through the mid-back into that imaginary bend. And bring it back to center, and then switch. So the top leg moves back, straighten the knee, and the arm moves forward. So find a diagonal stretch here. And again, contain your core. So gently pull the ribs in to the belly, pressing out into that imaginary bend across your mid-back. Reach. And come back to center. Push yourself up. Move the blanket up so it's under your head. Hold you into the ball, reach the arm up. Let's do a few rotations here. In and out. Maybe you can find the activation through the side body here as you're pulling the shoulder blade down your rib cage. Sort of think of shrinking the top side of the body so it's kind of shortened compared to your bottom side. Rotating. See how this shoulder is doing? Breathing through the nose. Now bring the arm down and we'll try a few full circles. So rotate the arm in, activate the side body, reach back. Rotate, armpit opens towards the sky. The shoulder blade is sort of pinned, anchored on your rib cage, up and over. Keep squeezing the ball. Beautiful. All the way back, rotate the arm in, internal rotation. Reach back, open the armpit to the sky, up and over. Pressing out into the imaginary band across your mid-back. One more time, reach back. Rotate, up and over. Beautiful. And put the ball down. And fold your blanket one time so it's slightly lower. Then hold onto the ball again, reach it towards your top heel. Lift the head up so your neck lines up with your spine. And then slowly, slowly bring it down. Gently tucking the chin in. Make sure you're right on your side. So if you roll it back, your top shoulder should be right on top of your bottom shoulder. Okay. And lift up. And then slowly, slowly down. Squeezing the ball and reaching it towards the top heel. Feel the stretch, the active stretch through the side of your neck. And up. And down. Beautiful. Now put the ball down. Move on to your belly. Find your gorgeous ball, so we'll put it underneath that other shoulder. Or the blanket. So as long as the front of the shoulder is supported, there's a little bit of height underneath it. You can rest your forehead on your fist. Squeeze the ball in your right hand, if you're doing my side. Reach the arm forward. Reach it out to the side. The shoulder is supported by the gorgeous ball. Rotate the arm in, internal rotation. Bring it all the way back to the side of the body. Then see if you can fold the elbow and try not to touch your lower back with the back of your hand. Then straighten the elbow, move the arm out to the side and to the front. So the gorgeous ball is right underneath the top of my right shoulder right here. Yeah? And I'm sort of leaning into it. I'm pressing into it. And then out to the side, pull the elbow, bring your arm back, then out to the side and to the front. Squeeze the ball. One more time, out to the side, rotate. Bring it back, pull the elbow, and then out to the side again. Beautiful. And put the ball down. Push yourself up. And then if you have the blanket, you can place it under your belly. If you have the gorgeous ball, place it under the belly button. And then see if you can settle over the ball and go side to side a few times. You can be up on your elbows here. Just softening your belly, your mid-back. Beautiful. And roll onto your back. Have your blanket underneath your head. And your gorgeous ball or your block will be between your knees. And we'll revisit those spinal articulations here now without the bands. Just see how everything moves now. Feet on the ground. As you inhale, you tilt your pelvis forward. You feel the arch increase underneath your lower back. Exhale, press it down into the floor. Squeeze the ball or your blanket between your knees. Inhale, tilt the pelvis forward. Exhale, tilt it back. One more time. Inhale, tilt forward. Exhale, tilt back. Press the feet into the ground. When you feel your lower back pressing into the floor, see if you can lift your hips up, coming into a lower bridge, squeezing the ball between the knees, and slowly bring yourself down. One bone at a time. And then inhale, tilt the pelvis forward. Exhale, tilt it back, press through the feet. Squeeze the ball between the knees and then lifting the hips up, maybe a little bit higher this time. And then slowly as you exhale, going down, one vertebra at a time. This time we're going to inhale and tilt the pelvis forward. Exhale, tilt the pelvis back. with your arms by your sides, start lifting your hips up and then start bringing your arms up as well. Notice if the blanket is now a little bit too high for your neck. Maybe you want to take it out on the next one. Bring yourself all the way down. I feel like I need to get rid of my blanket. Inhale until the pelvis forward. Exhale, tilt your pelvis back. Squeeze the ball. Wait for your lower back to press into the ground. Root through your feet and then bring your hips up and your arms up. Go into a nice high bridge here. And slowly, slowly bring yourself all the way down. Beautiful. So take the ball out, straighten your legs, and we'll cross right ankle over left. And we'll connect the arms in front of your face, interlock the fingers. And then bring your arms slightly closer to your face, but only to the moment when you feel that your mid-back wants to lift off the ground. So you still have that bend. Pretend that you still have it across your mid-back. Press into that resistance. And now take your legs and your arms over to the left side while still pressing out into that bend across your mid-back. So lengthening through the right side of the body and shrinking through the left. Reaching your hands away from your armpits. Pressing the lower ribs into the ground, like you still have that bend across your mid-back. Then come back to center, and we'll switch the cross of the ankles. Left ankle over right. Pressing the bottom ribs into the ground, taking the legs and arms over to the right. Taking a couple breaths here. And then bring yourself back to center. Bend your knees. You can have the blanket under your head. Relax the arms by your sides. Allow the knees to come together. And we'll just rest here. Watching the three-dimensional quality of our breath. Breathing through the nose. Noticing the expansion of the rib cage, side to side. Back to front. Top to bottom. Noticing the rising and falling of your belly. And sensing the radiance of your practice throughout your body. And then slowly move your fingertips and your toes. Sense this movement radiate up your legs, up your arms, into the shoulders, into your neck. Invite your inhales to lengthen, and your exhales to lengthen. Straighten the legs. Bring your arms up and over your head. Reach. Reach your right arm away from your right leg. And then the left arm from the left leg. Then bring your knees into your chest, one at a time. Nice and slow. Rock side to side. Roll onto one side. And then press yourself up into seated. And this will be the end of your practice.